Before this video starts, no, I have not cancelled half of Sasuke or what if Naruto had multiple quirks. I have not cancelled any of those, guys. It's just I've been working on the script, but I'm done now. So tomorrow you can expect those to come out and constantly coming out, guys. So there's nothing to worry about. But for now, I'm going to be giving you part 2, guys, of what if Naruto was from a demonic clan with OP abilities. So sit back, relax, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now, guys. So the last part we left off, 2 neighboring countries were at each other's throat, neither of them willing to give up the land that was between them, so it was causing war and constant warfare between them. However, the country of the March decided to hire one of the most dreadful person in this world. Well, he was from the Uzumaki clan, so he was one of them. The Uzumaki clan was said to be a clan of demons. As said member arrived towards the location, arriving there, the Kumo ninjas that were hired for the opposite country, the first Kunoichi that came across the Uzumaki was baffled. She dropped her knees in fear. The things that they heard about this clan was so dreadful that none of the 5 great nations were willing to go up against them. As he simply walked by, he was not here to attack her. He had a run-in with a few of the other shinobis earlier, and he had executed them. They had tried to kill him though, so it was justified to him. With that, he kept on moving. Arriving towards the location, the Jonins that were there on this mission were terrified, as he wished to speak to the leader here in charge. The woman at the gate knew exactly who he was and knew what would happen if they denied him entrance, fearing for the safety of the village. The leader allowed him to arrive inside. It was long before he came face to face with the man, as he introduced himself as Naruto Uzumaki. Right here, a black mark on his forehead that signified that he was a part of that clan. As he handed over the sign in that the other country want them to sign and get this whole thing over with. The leader had no choice, as he rather protect the citizens of his village than go into an all-out war with someone that might end up causing him greatly. So that is why he allowed and he signed it. Arriving back towards the other location, the other man was thankful to Naruto, but he was also fearful. The things that he heard, he asked if this means that he was cursed by demons. However, Naruto did not give him a direct answer, as he proceeded to leave. Arriving a distance away, Naruto sat where he was. He had the money of the payment. He had run away from the clan. He was not missing or anything, but the Uzumaki traditions were different. If he allowed them to keep monitoring him, he did not feel free, so he ran away. However, his mother was probably pissed at him by now. His mother was, yes, she was his mother, but she can be really dangerous and, well, scary when she's mad, and that involved her attacking him for what he did. However, Naruto summoned a bear, a small bear, as he asked about his mother. The bear told him that his mother was really upset, as no doubt she would be, well, enraged when she saw him, as Naruto knew that much. He gave the bear the suitcase of money, not really batting an eye at the amount at all, as he told the bear to give it to her, not his mother, someone else. The bear nodded and saluted before it poofed away. With that, Naruto made his way towards one of the best ramen place that existed in this world. We then skip to the elemental nation where Minato Namikaze sat in the seat. Minato Namikaze was a 4th Hokage. He's been through a lot. He had a sister. Yes, his sister was pregnant some time ago. But the thing was she did not make it. The Kyuubi attack on the village. The beast was sealed inside his sister. The Namikazes were linked to the Senjus. The Namikaze clans were a big clan back in the days, but the members were wiped out, leaving Minato his sister and the wife of the first Hokage, who was a Namikaze as well, who held the beast. The beast was then placed into Minato's sister, who had a greater chakra to soothe the beast and make it calm. So with that, it was placed inside of her. Minato had fell in love with an Uchiha. Her name was Mikoto Uchiha. Mikoto had a sister who had 2 boys, Itachi and Sasuke. Minato had a child with Mikoto. Her name was Natsume. It was 5 years after she was born when Minato's sister got pregnant. However, during the event of the attack, none of them made it. The baby, her husband, or his sister. It was a painful day. The 3rd Hokage had sacrificed his life to seal the beast inside of Natsume. Her being a Namikaze and was able to hold the beast. She had similar chakra to his mother and also to his sister as well, making her the 9th host. Since then, things had quieted down a bit. However, Itachi had went to slaughter the clan. Minato did not agree with this. He did not in the slightest. However, he believed that Danzo went behind his back, but he had no proof. Itachi did what he thought was right, to save the village as a whole, knowing that if there was infighting, the other nations would choose that as a correct time to attack them. So with that, years passed. Natsume was now 15 years old, the graduation age for shinobis across the nations being aged up after so many kids died in the last war. So now they were training to be shinobis. She was on her first mission outside the village as she went to the land of Wave. While that was going on, Minato was snapped out of his thoughts as he was alerted that there was a Uzumaki within the village. This was not the first time that Naruto has been here. In fact, after coming here once and falling in love with the ramen at the Ichoku ramen stand, he seemed to visit here ever so often. Ayame and him also had a thing going. They were not in a relationship. However, she liked him, and he liked her. But they were not in a relationship where the public would know that they were together. Naruto was called to the office as Minato had a mission for him. Something for him to do. And that was to get rid of Gato. As Naruto told him his payment, as Minato agreed. With that, Naruto left, as Minato also told him to protect the team that was there, knowing that Naruto could get there faster than any other team that he might send. However, he didn't want Konoha's hand in anything revolving Gato. Gato had a lot of enemies and a lot of friends as well. While they were not strong, they had a lot of money. So that is why he wanted Naruto to be the one to do this. With that, Naruto summoned a bird, showing that he had more than one summons. As he flew off, arriving towards the village not too long after, he saw the poor state that he was in. As he arrived to the house, Natsume was there. She was thinking about the whole predicament that they were in. Kakashi was resting upstairs after his battle with Zabuza. As she was down here meditating, she had a large amount of chakra because of the fox and her own natural chakra as well, so she needed to get it under control. That is when she saw someone arrive. Seeing his hair and the mark on his face, she was paralyzed in fear. Kakashi came downstairs, even though wobbly, as Naruto pulled out the scroll and showed them that he was sent by the 4th Hokage. That is when he laid eyes on Tsunami, as a smirk came on his face, a delightful one. She couldn't help but smile back. He was handsome, really so. However, a distance away, a man was looking over the horizon. There was a strange creature beside him, as he got a mission. So he was now heading towards Land of Wave, as he moved off his red hair, blue in the wind. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the place, check of yourself. So this will begin this. Now guys, we begin this episode at the Hidden Rain. Over the years, the Hidden Rain was a battlefield for many great shinobi wars. That all changed when someone decided to make a stop to it, and that was none other than Hanzo. He decided to put a stop to it, as he tried to secure his village, tried to stop the people from losing their life in unnecessary ways. Over the years, the Hidden Rain had closed their border down. There was rumors of infighting, but no one knew exactly what was going on in there. To this day though, Hanzo was alive. Yes, he's gotten old, but he's still ruling his village with the iron fist. At the moment, at the largest tower, Hanzo was currently resting on the top floor. As he was leaning back in his chair, there was countless paperwork on his decks. Over the past few years, the Hidden Rain economy has grown. Their shinobis are getting stronger. Their training regime are being increased, and those who could not cut it were being dismissed from the program. Hanzo was no longer joking around. Perhaps it's because he was getting old, and he knew that his people need to be strong to defend the village once he was gone. As he sat on his chair, looking over several business contracts that had gotten to them over the past couple of years because of their rise in economy, showing that they were becoming a stable village that were able to fulfill mission requests without any delay or any loss of client. Yes, the Hidden Rain had things good at the moment. However, not all is what it seems. On the last level that went underground, in this massive tower that went up to the sky, there was a gigantic room. A facility of sorts. It was large, encompassing. It was almost quarter the size of the Hidden Rain itself. However, the person needed a lot of space after all, to do what they had planned. A humming blue glow came from the walls, illuminating the place. At the moment though, a man stood in front of a gigantic wall that was made from nothing but glass. His hands were behind his back as he looked through the glass to see countless tubes. There were countless tubes inside. Something was floating inside the water. The man turned his gaze when someone came down the stairs to show that it was a woman. She had blue hair with an origami flower in it and brown eyes. She was wearing a blue bodysuit that hugged every inch of her. She had a black cloak over that came down in a V section around the neck. They have finally established power, she spoke. The remaining family that you allowed to live has taken control of the seat, and they've appointed the oldest heir. His name is Zuko. He shall become the daimyo. There is already talks going on that he wished to meet Hanzo, so that they can discuss political trades and us opening the borders to more outsiders. Do you think it was wise to leave them alive? They're trying to get involved too much in our business, the woman said, looking towards the man. He slowly stepped towards her, showing that he had red hair that landed right on his shoulders. His eyes were mythical, eyes that was said to belong to a god, a man that created the moon himself. They had spiral markings in them, rings to be exact. They were known as the Renegon. The man had a scar on his face though, starting from his forehead coming down to his cheek. It seems like someone had carved him with a blade, and it has never healed over. It didn't matter the lineage that he was from, or what power he had. That scar could never heal. He was dressed in a simple black shirt, with black pants as well, soft sandals on his feet. It seems like he was going for a more relaxed feeling, rather than business. He looked towards her with a calm expression. Your worries are not unwanted, Conan. I understand what you're implying, but there's no need to fear. It doesn't matter how much investing they do. They will never know what is truly going on, right under their noses. But this is also good for the village. If we're going to achieve my plans, we need the Hidden Rain to thrive, just like any other village. And what better way to do so than to get it back on the map, and to allow it to reach the heights of even one of the great nations. Do you really think that we can do that with the village? Conan said, looking towards him. I mean, it's a far stretch, Nagato. The man known as Nagato turned towards her. Have faith, he said, as he took her hand. She looked into his eyes. I told you a long time ago what I intend to do, and I promise you, I will not fail. She smiled at him as he pulled her in deep and laid a gentle kiss on her lip as she kissed him back. Meanwhile, at one of the many islands that were close to the land of wave, Gato was sitting behind a desk. He was angry. His recent visit to Haku and Zabuza did not pay out as he thought. He looked toward his arm that was in a cast. That damn girly boy that was with Zabuza broke his damn arm. He would get his revenge. Even if he had to sign a deal with the devil himself, he will get what he seek. He was gonna end up killing the both of them. They don't deserve the money that they were gonna get paid. They've done nothing but fail so far. They're pathetic. That is why he intended on killing the both of them on the bridge. You seem angry. Gato almost jumped out of his skin as he heard that voice. He spun around rather quickly, falling out of his chair as he did so. The noise caused the two guards outside to rush into the office. Gato two main guards, katanas, already been unsheathed, but before they could even pull the blade fully out, the both of them collapsed to the ground. As they fell unconscious, something knocking them down so fast that they could not even react in time. Gato pulled himself up. There was a man sitting in a chair right beside his. Gato noticed a spiky red hair that pointed upwards. However, what cemented the fact was the black marker on his right eye. The mark shaped like a tiny vortex that was around his right eye. It was black. There was no mistaking it. You're him, aren't you? Said Gato, looking at the man. Him? The man said, as he had a small knife in his hand, smaller than a kunai. However, it seemed much more sharp. The Uzumaki. Ah, yes. I am the Uzumaki. One of my brokers informed me that you needed me for a mission. Gato swallowed. Yeah, that's right, he said. I'm having some problem with one of my projects. And what would that be? The island that is not too far away from here. The land of wave. I'm trying to get it under my control, but I have to eliminate someone to do so. Are you up for something like that? As long as you pay the right price. There's no question if I'm up for anything. As Gato smirked at that. Well, I want you to kill a bridge builder. That is if Zabuza does not kill him first. The Uzumaki raised eyebrow at that. Let me explain, Gato said. I hired Zabuza and his apprentice. Well, Zabuza mostly, he brought his apprentice. However, they've done nothing but fail me so far. That is why I want you to kill them. And if they had not killed the bridge builder by the time that you arrive, kill all of them as well. And the Konoha ninjas. No. What do you mean no? I thought you said I will not go after the Konoha ninjas unless they actively try to stop me. Otherwise, I will not attack them. Why? Gato asks. I'd rather not discuss it, but I promise you, they won't even know that I'm there. I will kill everyone before they can even blink. Hearing that, Gato grinned. Alright, he said. We have a deal, but not now, he said. In a few days. That is when Zabuza is planning his strike. Until then, stay out of sight. I don't want anyone knowing that you're here. That's what I want you to do. You up for that? As I said to you, the man said getting to his feet. As long as you pay, you will get what you want. As Gato grinned savagely. The man then reached in his coat and pulled out something was a slip. And this is my price. When Gato looked at the price, his eyes bugged out. What? This much? This is at least 6 times what I'm paying Zabuza. That is what my services is worth. Take it or leave it. Gato grumbled angrily. However, he smirked at the end of his grumble. Fine, he said, I'll take it. You'll get paid once your mission is done. Why, of course, the man said. As Gato told him the exact time, I'll be there. Gato heard something fell as he turned to see. His lamp had fell off the table. When he turned back, the man was gone. What the hell? What's going on? He heard two voices, looking to see his two boys getting up. What just happened? How did we end up on the floor? You two, listen up, Gato said. I want you to gather our people. What's going on, boss? No time for that. I want you guys to gather our people, do you understand me? How much? The one on the left spoke up. All of them, said Gato. All of them? Yeah, all of them. Gato had a sinister grin on his face. If he played his cards just right, he wouldn't have to pay a single dime at all, he thought with a grin on his face. He did not understand what he was doing. He heard stories, he heard rumors, but Gato believed that ninjas are just tools that could be used by money. How foolish he was. How wrong, how stupid he was, unknowing that he just sealed his own fate, and death would be far more better than what he was going to receive. Time skip. At the land of Wave, Tazuna's house, Sasuke Uchiha was currently glancing upwards. On the top of the roof sat the Uzumaki. He was just sitting there in a meditative pose. His eyes were closed. Sasuke was watching him. The things that he's heard about this clan. They're said to be the most secretive and the most dangerous clan across the elemental nation. When his father was alive, even his father admit that the Uchihas pale in comparison to the Uzumakis. For someone like his father to say that, it was shocking to Sasuke, as he always thought that his clan was the strongest above everything else. Yet, to know that there was other clan out there so powerful that the whole world feared it. It is said that one of these guys are worth billions. People would pay billions for them because they want to know the secret of their body and their powers. But Sasuke could not see it. They were around the same age, and Sasuke did not see anything too dangerous. Well, he was not fighting, but still. Sasuke wondered what was the big shock about this guy. Ever since he arrived here, Natsumai had took a keen interest in him as well, to see what truly are up with these Uzumakis. Kakashi told him last night that he's been to the village before. The thing was that they had never seen him before, but he's been there. However, he was no threat. It is said that the Uzumakis will never try to harm a ninja of the 5 great nations because they signed a pact a long time ago that neither of them would come to blow with each other. However, what frightened Sasuke though was the fact that the Uzumaki clan was just like his clan. They did not have 1,000 members or anything, perhaps hundreds but not thousands. And it is said that the Uzumakis, in a far time period ago, fought the entire elemental nation and won. Maybe that was a bit of over-exaggeration or something because Sasuke was not sure. But if that was the truth, just what exactly were they capable of? Sasuke blinked. When his eyes readjust, there was no one there. Would you mind explaining why are you watching me? Sasuke was able to calm himself enough to not jump. However, he was startled. Slowly turning around, he came face to face with the guy, his blue eyes staring into his black ones. As Sasuke backed up, "You're a Uzumaki," he said. "Come on now, let's try not to make the both of us look dumb by me answering that and you asking that. You can just call me Naruto." "Naruto, huh?" Sasuke said. "Yes. And you're Sasuke Uchiha. How did you... You're quite famous," Naruto said, stepping forward. "After all, you're one of the few Uchihas remaining. You and your cousin and your brother. And your aunt as well." Sasuke was surprised by that. wondering how I know so much. Information is a luxury in this world that most people take advantage of. I am one of those people, said Naruto. So tell me, what do you find so interested in me? I get this before, is it my looks? I know I'm easy on the eyes, and it's always a compliment to see people staring at me because of my looks. However, I'm afraid I don't go that way. As Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder, but I wish you all the luck in your future achievements for the other guys that you go after. Sasuke's mind was just adjusting to what he was saying. What? That's not it, he said. And I don't go that way either. Whoa, a bit defensive, said Naruto, raising his hand with a mocking look on his face. You're mocking me, Sasuke said. Well, kind of, said Naruto. So we're gonna answer my question. Why were you looking at me? I'm curious, Sasuke said. About what? You, of course. Because I don't see it. Naruto looked around. See what? The whole big deal. This great Uzumaki clan that is feared by all nations. You look like a normal shinobi to me. What should I look like? Some kind of beast? A wild animal? No, at least something for me to understand why the nations fear the Uzumakis. Haven't you heard the rumors, Naruto asks. Yes, but most of those are exaggerated, right? Naruto shrugged his shoulders. What, you don't know? Sasuke asks. As a challenging grin came on his face. How about a spar, he said. You want to fight me? Naruto asks. Exactly. If your clan is so great, I want to see how far I measure up. Granted, you're just a child, but still, if I put you down, I'll be able to show that I can defeat the great Uzumakis as well. You know that we're the same age, correct? Said Naruto. It doesn't matter, Sasuke said. So what about it? Are you gonna cower out, or what? As Naruto looked around, I guess I can spare the few seconds. What? What's that supposed to mean? Sasuke said. I mean, in 3 seconds, I'm gonna put you on the ground, and you're gonna see why it's unwise to challenge me, especially at your current state. Sasuke grinned. That sounded like a challenge, he said. I'm always one to break challenges, showing that I'm far better than what anyone else expected. Well then, by all means, as Naruto spread his hands. Sasuke noticed that he didn't have his weapons on him, except for one. That sword that was laying crossway on his back. It was different from his other 2 blades. It seemed more fancy, the hilt was curved. For some reason, it felt dangerous more than this guy. Or maybe, his arrogance was just getting the better of him. However, Sasuke decided to play this straight, and not hold anything back, as he activated his one totem Sharingan. Wasting no time, Sasuke blurred forward. 3 seconds, he thought. Don't make me laugh. As Sasuke counted in his mind, 1, 2. It took him 2 seconds to reach a guy, and then Sasuke was face first into the ground. The Uchiha was confused, not understanding what was going on. His right hand was being held up, as a feet was rested on the back of his head, placing his head down as he could not move. What's going on? Sasuke said, very confused. As Naruto released his hand. It took you 2 seconds to reach me, and 1 for me to do what I did, so I guess I misspoken. Or did I speak correctly? Said Naruto, with a calm smile. Sasuke pulled himself up. He had to check if his eyes were deceiving him, but they were not. What did you do? Sasuke asked. I did as I told you. I put you down in 3 seconds. But you did not move. Sasuke looked at the ground. There was no indentation. His foot did not move. How did... Sasuke couldn't understand what just happened. There's no way that you're that fast. My eyes would have caught on to it. That must be some kind of jutsu. Why wouldn't your eyes caught on to a jutsu? Said Naruto. Sasuke did not know how to answer that, but he still could not accept that that just happened. Tell me what you did. You know, for someone that is so young, you're rather arrogant, said Naruto. We're the same age, Sasuke yelled back, doing the same thing Naruto did to him. As Naruto looked towards him amused and walked forward, as he patted Sasuke on the shoulder. Calm down, he said. Besides, your eyes only have one totem in them. If I am correct, which I know I am, 3 is the max. Unless we're talking about the Mangekyo Sharingan. How do you... As I said, information's a luxury in this world, and I tend to gather it quite a lot. As he started to walk away, you're not gonna tell me how you did that, Sasuke asks. I promise you, Uchiha, I did not do any tricks. I simply put you down. Sasuke looked at him. Tell me something. Yes? Are you the strongest Uzumaki? Sasuke asks, wondering if he was some kind of prodigy or something. Strongest? No, I'm afraid not. Who is? Sasuke asks. Oh, that's simple. My father. As Naruto kept on walking, as he headed back towards the house, Sasuke watched him leave, as he walked back over towards the area. That is when he noticed Naruto's footprint. The ground was deeper than expected. It was like he added pressure and then he moved. However, there was no other return footprint. So was he floating or something? Sasuke scratched his head confused. Yes, he was arrogant, but over the years he had mellowed out. Rage and anger had been calmed by his aunt and his cousin as well. If he didn't have them, he was sure that he would have lost his mind by now. After losing everything, his mother, his father, his brother, after what he did. Sasuke shook his head. There was no time to think about that now, as he had to figure out how that just happened, because it still made no sense to him at all. Time skip. You didn't have to do that, said Tsunami, as she looked towards the young man in front of her. It's my pleasure. Besides, you have graciously invited us into your home. Granted, we're here to protect your father, but given the economy of this place, and what that man has done to you people already, I'm sure that none of us wish to be a burden, said Naruto. Tsunami looked at him, as she felt flustered. It's been a long time since she's been with someone. Since Kaiser died, she's never been with anyone else. However, ever since this young man came here, he's been so considerate and kind. He also helped her buy the groceries, more than expected. He insists despite her trying to deny what he could already see through. With the extra company here, she would have to feed more than just herself, her father and her son. And he saw through that, even accompanying her towards the market for her to get her things. It's been a long time since someone had complimented her looks, calling her beautiful and gorgeous, and she just couldn't handle it, as she was blushing almost every time he speak. Not to mention he was ridiculously handsome. The people in this line had lost their hope to fight, their hope to continue on, as there was no one here that she really connect with on this level. So this experience was getting her all flustered. As she was now preparing dinner for all of them, he sat there and just looked at her. Whenever she turned, he was smiling, as he calmly spoke and kept her company. However, it was affecting her more than she thought, as she found herself daydreaming about the two of them. She had to shake her head violently. What the hell was she thinking? They were here on a mission, not for that. However, her mind kept on entertaining the thought, as she felt her whole body was getting heat up. She almost cut herself, however he grabbed her hand. It seems like someone is lost in your thoughts. He wrapped his arms around her, and he held onto her right hand with a knife inside. Oh, I guess you're right, she said. Here, let me help, he said, as he held onto the vegetable while he held her hand and softly cut. She could feel him inhaling and exhaling on her neck. As she felt goosebumps appear in her body, she had to step away, as she could not take it anymore. He looked at her. "I'm sorry if I was too..." No, she said. "It's not your fault, it's mine, it's just..." As she bit her bottom lip and looked at him. "It's a bit embarrassing, but..." "I haven't been with anyone for a very long time," she said, her cheeks becoming insanely red in embarrassment. "And you being so close and... well, it's bringing up certain feelings that I want to act on, but it would be inappropriate." Her cheeks were burning red from embarrassment and from what she just said, a little blushing inside. She couldn't believe that she said that out loud, but she just had to get it off her chest. They were the only one here. The others were accompanying her father towards the bridge. Not all of them, the others were training. Her son had a few friends in the village. They were all instructed to stay away from certain areas because of Gato and his goons. Mostly his goons sometime passing by. So they were safe. So they were the only one here. And she was getting all flustered. He stepped forward. Inappropriate, you say. However, you have to remember that we only live once, no matter who we are. And while some desires are inappropriate, giving in to some of them can be exquisite. A sensation that would change everything. As his fingers slowly traced her leg, causing her to feel her whole body shake inside just from his mere touch. Desires is a wonderful thing. Some of them are so strong that it doesn't matter what we do, we just can't stop ourselves from indulging into them. The more he thought, the closer he got. And it broke. She leaned forward and kissed him. She could not control herself anymore. She kissed him before she pulled back. As she looked at him, the look in her eyes had changed to a lustful, hungry one. As she saw the look in his eyes, he pulled her close. As their lips connected once again, fighting to gain dominance of one another. As she wrapped her legs around his waist, he tore her shirt off. He was violent, like an animal. However, it was more arousing that way as he trailed kisses down her neck. As she was still wrapped around him as he walked with her. Her desires and bliss merged into one as he brought her towards her bedroom. On the outside, Kakashi Hatake stepped away. It's been a few days as he recovered majority of his chakra, as he was able to create a clone. He was keeping watch on the Uzumaki. It was hard to trust someone that you've heard so much about, despite his sensei being the one to give him this mission. However, from he got here, Kakashi could see that his little thing with that woman was getting larger and larger, and it finally erupted. Well, for one thing, he does have game, Kakashi thought, as he got the memories of his clone, not saying anything as he looked towards the bridge in front of him. It's only a matter of time before Zabuza and his accomplice show up now. They had to be ready. He was making sure that his team was ready. Time skip. They all sat around the dinner table as they were enjoying a wonderful meal. As Tsunami was calmly eating but under the table, her and Naruto were playing footsies as they were messing with each other. She found this rather fun. With all the stressful things that she's been through so far, this took the load off really much. And not to mention, recently, that got the load off tremendously. It's been a long time since she had made those noises. A very long time. A long time since she's felt that way. Meanwhile, Natsuma was glancing towards Uzumaki. She wondered why she has never seen him before. Kakashi said that he's been in the village more than once, but she's never seen him yet. However, she was curious about their old clan. The things that she heard, especially from her father. She was a person that wished to gain strength to protect her people, the people that were close and precious to her. Recently, she met someone in the forest. A guy that looked just like a girl. For a boy, he was really cute. However, he was nice. They talk. As he asked her what did she train hard for. She wanted to protect her family. She wanted to protect everyone that she loved. She has lost so much already, and she didn't want to lose anymore. That is why she wished to gain strength. Suddenly, a grumble could be heard. It was a younger child. Iniri, his name was. Sakura glanced over towards the boy, and saw that he was getting frustrated. "What's wrong?" she said to him. "Shut up," he said to her. Sakura was taken aback. She was just trying to help. "Iniri," Tsunami yelled out. "Don't be so rude. What's the point?" They're all acting like everything is okay. "You're all going to die," he said, as Naruto raised a curious eyebrow to this boy. "Do any of you know what Gato is? He's a monster. And you guys really believe that you can defeat him by yourself? You have no idea what you're facing. None at all. You came from your soft, sweet village, believing that you know anything here. Believing that you understand the pain that we people have went through. Acting like everything is okay. You should all just go home. Because if you don't, you're gonna forfeit your life as well. He's gonna kill you all. You're wrong." They glanced towards Natsume as she spoke up. Iniri looked at her. "How could you be quiet?" she said to him. As Iniri shut his mouth, her tone was authoritative. "I know that you've suffered, but just because you see someone acting okay, it doesn't mean they've also not suffered. However, you're young, so I understand your outburst," she said. Naruto glanced towards her curiously. Her attitude made a quick turn. She was so different now. "I understand that you've been through a lot, but Natsume and Namikaze, promise you, it doesn't matter how hard or whatever Gato threw at us, we will save your country. We will make your grandfather build his bridge and get this village what they deserve. And that's a promise of a lifetime. And you should know something about me. I never break my promises." Iniri looked at her. Her words reminded him so much of Kaido. He ran away in tears. Tsunami looked towards them. "I'm sorry," she said. "And thank you." As she made her way upstairs to talk to her son. Tazuna sighed. As Sakura looked towards him. "I'm judging that he lost someone important," she said as she glanced towards a photo with the man's face that was gone. Tazuna told him the story about the man that Iniri looked up to. And when that tragic day happened. Time skip. Later that night, Natsume sat on the porch. As she glanced outwards, she wished she could save them all. Everyone out there that cried, everyone out there that was in pain. She had a good soul and a good heart. She just wanted to do good. She didn't want people suffering like how she had suffered. She didn't want people to lose like how she lost. But she knew everyone has pain. Everyone has been through a lot. Life is not as colorful as it seems. Things are hard out there, especially in this world. She lost many important people to her. And she knew the feeling, especially with Iniri being so young. He must be going through a lot. She felt something as someone arrived beside her. She turned her head. She almost jumped, but she kept herself calm. "When did you arrive here?" she asked. "Just a moment ago," said Naruto. As she looked at him, as he spoke once again. "I'm curious. Would you mind answering a question for me?" said Naruto. "What is it?" she asked. "Do you believe that you can save everyone?" Naruto said to her. She looked at him confused. "Why would you ask me that? It almost seems like you felt pain from just hearing what that child said." "I was upset, of course," she said. "Are you not upset when a child is suffering? Do you not care for anything or anyone but yourself?" she asked, her tone getting angry. "Of course I do. But I'm wondering, do you really think that you can save everyone by yourself?" Do you really think that you could change this world that has been this way for the longest time now without change? She clenched her fists. Well, I'll try my damn best to do so, she said to him. He gave her a smile. Why are you smiling? I just wanted to see your conviction, and I must say, I'm surprised. It's not often you find people that has such a good heart. You can tell that from just talking to me for a few seconds, she said to him. Yes, I can. I can see it written all over your face as well. That brought a smile to her face. We're all ninjas, but we're not monsters, she said to him. We can try to make a difference. Try to make a better world for the children. For someone so young, you're quite insightful, said Naruto. She gave him a look. You know we're about the same age, right? Yes, but you're young to me, said Naruto. What does that mean? As he merely smiled, not answering her question. Now it's your turn, she said to him. My turn? Yes. I'm curious about the Uzumaki clan. Aren't we all, said Naruto. I'm guessing that this is not your first time hearing that question. Of course not, said Naruto. So what would you like to ask? The whole rumors about the demon thing. Is it true? What demon thing? Said Naruto. I heard that each members of the Uzumaki clan are tied up with demons. Tied up? I wouldn't say that is true, said Naruto. She narrowed her gaze, realizing that he did not say no. So there was some truth to it. You know, you're not what I expected. It isn't the first time I'm hearing that. People expect us to be some kind of bloodthirsty monsters. I've get that on several occasions, and after they met me, they're rather surprised. Because the rumors out there, the way they describe you, and now how you're acting, is just completely different. You know they're not describing me, right? They're describing the clan. And besides, that was some time ago. So are you saying that the Uzumakis have changed? That they've gotten soft? Naruto burst out laughing. His laughter was quite infectious for some reason. What's so funny, she asks. Well, it's the opposite actually. They've gotten much worse. Her sweat dropped at that. So what are you saying? That you're an exception? That you're the only good one? And who said I was a good person, said Naruto. Well, you don't strike me as a villain. I'm not. I'm simply neutral, said Naruto. Like you ninjas, we do missions. We just tend not to care about most things that you ninjas would care for. What's that mean? You're a smart girl, said Naruto. You can figure that one out yourself. She glared at him, making Naruto smile. However, he did not stop, and his gaze was a bit unnerving. She wasn't afraid of it, but there was just... What's with that look, she asks. You interest me, said Naruto. I interest you? What's that supposed to mean? Exactly what it sounds like, said Naruto. There is something about you that really interests me. Do you want to be my friend? He asked her. She looked at him strangely. Now what's with your look, said Naruto. Well, it's not often that you find someone our age asking to be friends like that. Well then, how do you do it? Well, usually people are just talking and becoming friends. I've never really heard anyone say, do you want to become my friend? Really? Never? Said Naruto. Well, when I was much younger, but not at this age. Well, I guess I'm different. But why do you want to be my friend, she said. Given the clan that you're from, I'm sure that many people out there want to be your friend. You just explain exactly what I mean, said Naruto. What? She said. Given the clan that I'm from, you said. However, you don't care about that, do you? In fact, after you asked your question, I saw it in your eyes. You just see me as someone normal. There's something different about you. As I said, it intrigues me. Not to mention your speech earlier, and that determination you have. I can see great things for you in the future. You making a name for yourself. Tsunami and Namikaze, one of the greatest shinobis amongst the elemental nation. She looked at him with a strange look. What's wrong? Said Naruto. Well, it's just, you're one of the few people that ever talk to me without bringing up my dad. People always say that I'm gonna be great because of who my father is. But you don't care who my father is, do you? The fourth Hokage. Of course not, said Naruto. Once a person trains hard enough, they can reach whatever heights that their heart desire. And I can tell that you train hard, said Naruto. So there's no question about that. She smiled hearing that. Thanks, she said. Maybe being friends is not a bad idea. As Naruto smiled back at her, Kakashi, who was right there as he had overheard everything, was curious about this development. Time skip. The day had finally arrived. Naruto was sitting on top of the roof, meditating as usual. Down below, Inieri was by himself as he sat on the porch. He had been thinking deep and hard recently. Her words had really struck a chord inside of him. He wanted to protect his home. He wanted to defend his home. As he realized the things that he's been doing to his mother recently, that he's been complaining non-stop and being such a brat. The words had really hit him deep. He walked out as he saw his mother, humming calmly to herself. He didn't know what it was, but his mother seemed a lot happier. She was smiling a lot lately, and she seemed to have this glow about her. As he walked towards her, tugging on her skirt as she looked down. Hey there, honey, she said, looking towards him. I'm sorry, he said. Sorry? What did you do? She asked. No, it's not that. It's how I've been behaving. I'm sorry how I've been acting. She kneeled down right in front of him and cuffed his cheek before she gave him a kiss on his forehead, making him blush in embarrassment. It's alright, honey, she said to him. You're my son. I love you. I know you've been having a hard time. There's nothing to apologize for. I just want you to return back to how things were. He hugged her tightly. And I will, he said. I'll never give up again. She smiled hearing that. Well, well, well. What do we have here? A voice said. She looked up as she saw two men, both of them with katanas, stepping towards the group. Who are you? She said. We've been sent here to fetch you. Inieri looked at them. Gato, he thought. Don't make another step, he said. I won't allow you to take my mom. The one to the left pulled out his katana. Oh, really now? You want to fight us, kid, he said. Inieri, get behind me, said Tsunami. No, mom. I won't let them hurt you. Not again. I won't lose you, he said. As he stepped forward proudly. You're gonna have to go through me. Huh. Nice job, kid, a voice said. It's hard to be brave and heroic nowadays. But you stand your ground, without a hint of fear despite the odds being against you. Wait, who said that? As I saw someone on the roof. I suppose it's time. Took you guys long enough. Wait, you knew we were coming here? As Naruto jumped down and landed right in front of the both of them. Please. Gato is kind of, what can I say? Easy to read. Extremely easy to read. Now, about you two. Wait, it's you. One of them said. You know me. You're the Uzumaki. The one that met with Gato. What? Said Naruto. No, it's not him. This one is different. Naruto was in front of them in a second. Both of them tried to move, but he grabbed them by the shirts. You saw another Uzumaki here. A dreadful feeling washed over both men as they started to quiver in fear. They couldn't understand what this feeling was. What's going on? Inieri said, confused, as both men were on their knees, trembling. Answer me, said Naruto. the black mark on his forehead pulsing. It was only for a split second. We saw the hair, but we weren't able to make out the face completely. We were unconscious next second. Our boss filled us in. I'm not sure if we did see him anyway. Maybe it was our boss filling the information in our head, make us think that we saw him, the other one said, as they were babbling everything they could to get out of this feeling. Please, let us go. Is there any more of you coming here? Naruto asks. No, we're the only ones. No one else is coming here. Naruto chopped the both of them in their neck as they fell unconscious. It's okay, you two. No one else is coming, said Naruto as he looked towards Inari and Tatsumi. I'm heading off to the bridge. I'll give the ear another sweep to make sure that they weren't lying. With that, he disappeared, taking the two bodies with him. Time skip. On the bridge, Sakura stood in front of the client. As she watched the scene in front of her play out, she could not really see. The place was thick with mist all around. Kakashi had went off to fight off against Zabuza. The hunter didn't appear. Sasuke and Natsume got trapped inside a dome. There were no fight in the hunter name. She could not see what was going on, but she heard the clashing of weapons inside. Damn it, the mist was everywhere. She stood in front of the client. She had a kunai in her hand. What's the situation? Sakura spun and nearly lashed out until he caught it with his two fingers. Calm down, it's just me. Oh, Naruto-san, Sakura said. Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. She heard stories as well about this guy, and now he was on their side, so they perhaps had nothing to worry about. Tazuna gripped his chest. You almost gave me a heart attack, he said. As Naruto simply gave the old man a pat on the shoulder. It's gonna be alright. You're not dead yet. If you keep popping up like that, I would be, said Tazuna. As Sakura explained what was going on, but Naruto did not move. Aren't you gonna do something? Your teammates have this under control. What? You can see them? Yes. However, that ice hopping ninja is gonna be a hard one to pin down. Ice hopping? Oh, you mean the mirrors? Don't fret yourself. Everything will be handled, said Naruto as he walked forward. Just stay here with the old man. Naruto kept on walking, looking around. Its eyes snapping from left to right, trying to find where exactly the other Uzumaki was. That is when his ears picked up on something. Naruto snapped his head to the dome to see Sasuke jumping in the way, blocking the attacks from hitting Natsume. In that moment, Naruto saw her Sharingan got another totem. She raged, and he felt it. The power inside of her, it activated. Chakra, dark, sinister chakra, swell around her. On the other side of the bridge, Kakashi and Zabuza came to a stop. What is this? What is this chakra? Said Zabuza. Natsume, Kakashi thought. As for Naruto, he watched as Natsume moved with incredible speed, knocking away the hunter ninja, shattering his mask. However, she stopped. It seems like he underestimated this hunter ninja. He thought that those two would be able to handle him. However, Sasuke was now unconscious. There was a reason why Naruto decided not to get involved. The hunter ninja did not want to kill them, for some odd reason. If Naruto had sensed killer intent, the action to kill, he would have moved and end the hunter ninja within a second. The Hokage did give him a mission not to make the Konoha ninja die after all. However, there was no intent to kill, so he did not step in. However, the illusion of death was enough as well. That was a Nine-Tails power, Naruto thought to himself. The mirror started to quickly break away as the hunter ninja talked to Natsume about his story. Naruto was not surprised after all. He'd been keeping an eye on her, and he saw when they first met. But Naruto did not care about Zabuza or the hunter ninja. He was just here to protect the Konoha team in case they could not handle himself. Natsume glanced over as she saw. Naruto, you're here. Yes, I am. Seems you have things covered here. And Sasuke is fine. Glancing back behind her, He's just in a death-like state. There's nothing to worry about. Naruto walked over towards him and placed a hand down on Sasuke's chest. All the senbons inside of Sasuke incinerated into nothing. Black smoke leaking out of where they once were. Sasuke groaned on the ground. Haku looked up. How did you... Naruto picked up Sasuke and walked over. As he placed him to the opposite side of the bridge. Keeping you out of harm's way, said Naruto. Natsume noticed that he seemed to be looking for something. What are you looking for? Naruto kept on looking around. Someone is here, he said. Natsume narrowed her gaze. Who is it? Someone very powerful and dangerous. Are you talking about Zabuza-sama? Haku said. No. Your master paled in comparison. Kakashi! Naruto called out, causing Kakashi to backpedal. The sensei glanced towards Uzumaki. He looked towards him, as Naruto saw Kakashi was having a bit of a hard time, but he seemed to be able to handle himself. There's no need for you to fight Zabuza anymore. What? Why not? Because Gato had sent someone to end his life. What? Zabuza said, clutching onto his blade. What are you talking about, kid? Wait. That here. That mark. Zabuza's eyes widened. Are you a Uzumaki? Yes. But I'm not the one that's gonna end your life. If you don't want to die, you should move out of the way. Zabuza did not feel anything, but he moved same way. Something tore right through his right arm, causing the man to scream out in pain. Shocked, he fell down, gripping as blood started to pour down. Zabuza-sama! Naruto then turned and shot towards Sakura in blinding speed. As he pushed her out of the way and reached in front of Tazuna and caught a blade. A small weapon. It was a knife, smaller than a kunai. It was flat and extremely sharp as it glistened. Naruto gripped it and turned and threw it. It clashed another knife, knocking it away. The other knife was about to pierce right through Haku's skull. Haku grabbed Zabuza and jumped away. Now, what was that for? He was my target. Naruto stepped forward. Who is that? Said Natsume. Someone you should stay away from, said Naruto. As he stepped forward. What's going on? Kakashi asked. Seems we have company. A dangerous one, said Naruto. As he took off the coat that he was wearing and threw it to the side, exposing the two blades on his back that were crisscross, and the one on his lower back. What can I say? That old man over there, I happen to like his daughter, so I decided to keep him alive. And you just tried to kill him. So you were upset. So you stopped my kill, the voice said. Exactly. You haven't changed, little brother. Neither of you, big brother, said Naruto. Natsume's eyes widened at that. Kakashi narrowing his gaze at Sharingan, focusing forward to see the man that stepped out of the mist. He had spiky red hair, a mark that surrounded his eye. He was a Uzumaki. So let me guess, you're not gonna allow me to kill the old man? Of course not, Menma. You know me by now. And when I say I'm not gonna allow someone to do something, I'll fight till my last breath. And you think you can stop me? The now identified Menma said. His body was cloaked in a black cloak as well, not revealing any of its weapons. Well, I ought to give it a shot. It's been a long time since we fought. Yes, it has. However, I'm still older than you, said Menma. Age doesn't mean nothing, said Naruto as he unsheathed both of his blades. Menma chuckled at that. Alright, fine then. If you won't allow me to get past, I guess I'll have to go through you. A black aura surrounded Naruto. It whipped out violently. The members behind him had to step back as he gripped his blades. I would like to see you try, said Naruto. A grin came on Menma's face. before he lifted his arms, and over a dozen knife was already in Naruto's face, inches away from tearing him apart, as Naruto's eyes track all of them. However, Menma was already ahead of him, above him. This all happened in 1 second. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification say posted. Remember, share to all of your friends and social media platform. But I'm over now. See you guys soon. Peace.